totally going live without making an announcement or letting you all know that I was going live at this time. So there may not be anyone who's here live, but I wanted to drop in, and I didn't actually feel I just preferred going live rather than making a regular old video and all of the things, and you know how that goes. So okay, very important topic, very important topic. I'm going to need you to sit down and pay attention. You don't actually have to sit down, but I invite you to pay attention, because if you are wondering why you are not stepping into the things that you know are for you, and you're not stepping into them in a way that you decide gets to be for you, like you're still trying to do them in a way that potentially has worked for you in the past, or that you have been told is the thing that is going to get you to the thing, this is for you. Yeah? All right. So you saw from the title, Sex, God, and Systemic Trauma Walk into a Bar. Now, we were going to do a big old thing, after our announcement yesterday. If you did not see the announcement, I highly suggest and invite you to go back and watch the announcement, because it's so good and it's so good and it's so deep. I will probably share something about the announcement at some point during this live stream, but if you missed it, please go back and read it, all of the things on the socials, and if you have the special secret link to the blog, it is up on the blog. You don't have the link. No, you don't have the link, but it is up on the blog as well. It's also in your inbox if you're on the email list. Okay, so with the announcement yesterday, I really was like, okay, we're gonna go and we're gonna go like, and we're gonna make this big, the big live stream, and we're gonna, celebrate and all of the things, and I've had a headache for the past few days, and I don't feel like it, I don't want it. It's just like, I can't. So you've got me with no mascara, full t-shirt, all of the things. Really, the only thing you generally get me with otherwise is mascara and maybe some earrings, but that's as fancy as I get on the normal basis. But today you don't even get that. You do not even get that, but what you do get is the message. And so this has been coming through, and I've played with sex and God in many different ways, and if you've been with me a while, please say hello if you're here. What's up? I have no idea who's here. I've played with them on the blog in many different ways, and teachings and stuff with programs, and orgasms, money, and God, that entire program inside of the erotic money medicine series. Like, there are many different ways, right? Hello. I'm so glad you caught me live too. What's up, love? Is it Ajay? I think it's Ajay. So we've talked about this in many different ways, and this is a surprise live. No one is aware that I'm so glad you found this, because no one is aware that we're live, but I just felt it. We just had to go live. And so this is a topic that is deep in my bones and deep in my heart to speak to, and to really be in the decolonizing of. And the reason being is that we often have so many encodings around sex and around God, systemic traumatic encodings that are living in our body and our cells, and they are evoking themselves. They're potentially running amok in the background, and they are running your business, and they are running the way that you message or the way that you don't message, and they are running the way that you have sex or that you don't have sex, or they're running the way that you connect with God and with the land, or that you don't, and all of the pieces, and connect with the ancestors or don't, right? And when we know that it is time for us to say yes to the thing that we know is for us, right? We know that it's time for us to go back, or to return into the truth of the thing, right? The truth of the thing. And we know that it is time, and yet we're not actually saying yes. We're not saying yes in a way that is the full unleashing, the full opening, the full evocation, right? We have said yes in a way that is, 5% there, or even 99.9% there, but we are not saying yes in the way that is completely, utterly, so deeply expressed and turned on and dropped in. Like, you haven't said yes in that way. This is today, right? This is today, right? And so when we drop into our encodings around sex, around God, around who we are and what is possible for us, if we are living into these encodings, we are still asking for permission. And here's the thing: if you are a melanated body, if you are in a white body, like my white crooked spirit is of the revolution at hand, but if you you are, especially in a melanated body, my melanated care, I'm speaking to you, if you're in a melanated body and you are continuing to ask permission of a colonized white ideation of a God, then you will not allow yourself to lean in and fully live into that which you know is for you, because you are asking permission from something in someone, an idea of something in someone that is going to potentially be in control, and has been taught in such a way that it is a parental figure that we need to ask permission from, and that we will get in trouble from if we do not do exactly the right thing in exactly the right way. And then when we're in that state of like, oh shit, like especially in a melanated body, when we can already have so much systemic trauma around getting into trouble, around what will happen to our body if we get into trouble, around what will happen to potentially, you know, the bodies of our family if we get into trouble. If we are believing that in order for us to step into the things that we desire, that we have to ask permission from the great colonized white man in the sky, then we will stop ourselves from saying what needs to be said. We will stop ourselves from creating in the way that we know is here for us. We will stop ourselves from experiencing the sex and the money and the love and the desire and the joy and the pleasure and the playfulness and the magic and the mystery of everything that we know is for us, the revolution and the message and the mission that we know is born to us. We will stop ourselves from leaning in and living in and experiencing that, because we are like, we can feel that, right? Oh my god, what is the word? Kind of like that friction, right? We can feel that like, ooh, like I don't want to have to ask for permission to be me, right? Because I was born as that which I am. I don't want to have to ask for permission in order for me to expand and express as that. And yet I also don't want to do things wrong if I have not gotten permission from this colonized ideation of the being that I'm supposed to ask for permission in order to be myself. Does this make sense? Does this make sense? And so when we're stepping into and we're leaning into the thing that we know is for us, and yet we are leaning in a way that we're potentially only like we're only going maybe 99% in, right? 99.9, like there's something that you continuously hold back on. This is what, and this is why, right? I mean, it's one of the reasons. It can be one of the reasons. There are no definitives and yada, yada, yada. And I have found for myself, for my clients, that this is one of those huge pieces that kind of goes left unsaid in a lot of mentoring and a lot of coaching and a lot of books and a lot of what the fuck ever of ways for us to experience and express the magic and the madness and the mystery and the creativity and the arts and the revolution and everything that we know that we hold inside, right? And so if you are desiring to go deeper, and you know that that is for you, you know that that is your next step, the invitation then becomes, okay, so where are we asking for permission rather than letting it be known that we are now open for support, right? That we are now open to be supported by God, and not the colonized ideation of God, but God, right? And who and whatever God is for you. Great mystery, creator, source, divinity, universe, life itself, love. You get to lean into God as God, not the ideations of God, not the colonized perceptions and conditionings of God, where you have to do things right, otherwise you will get in trouble, which then systemic trauma shows you and tells you and will reinforce within you that all of the things that will happen if you get in trouble, if you don't do the things right, if you don't say the things right. And so then you stop yourself and you stop yourself and you stop yourself and you stop yourself. This is that invitation. Okay, so if I allowed myself, rather than asking for permission to be that which I am, rather than saying, okay, like what am I allowed to do? What do you want? And that I can maybe potentially live into. This is something that I've heard many times, and I heard it very clearly today. Is like, okay, and what do you want for yourself? Right? What do you want for you? Rather than, okay, like what would you have of me? This is the question that I ask, and many of us ask very often, and there is a quality, right? So rather than asking, okay, what would you have of me, and asking it in a way of like, what would you have of me, and I have no say, and I am giving up my power to something that is that that I don't even potentially want to have to ask for permission from, right? To this idea of God, rather than actually dropping into full communion with God. If you are asking like, oh, like what would you have of me, and then kind of like shrinking away and not even wanting to live into it because you believe on another level that if you actually say yes to the thing, right, that you were then shown that you have to be less than you, that you have to live into something that the idea of God wants for you or wants from you, but it's not actually what you want for yourself. And so what if we asked and we opened and we allowed ourselves to drop in, and rather than giving away power, and rather than seeing our power as being stripped away from us, rather than seeing it as something that we have to get right in order to, because we have to ask permission, we have to get it right in order to then not get in trouble. If we flip that and instead we're simply, okay, here's, what would you have of me? But we are really dropping into source as soul as source. You are a physical manifestation of the Most High, right? Nothing less, nothing less, nothing less. And yet your conditioning, your traumas, your dramas, all of these things are telling you that you are not that which you are, and that you have to ask for permission in order to be that which you are. And if you do not then do it right, if you misunderstand, that you are going to get in trouble and something horrific is going to happen to you, to your body, to your family, to whatever it is that you don't want to lose in life, right? And so when we drop in and we're like, does this make sense? When we drop in and we're like, okay, I'm saying yes, and I am actually going to ask for support rather than permission. I get to be supported. I get to be supported by the Most High. I get to be divinely supported because I am divinely appointed to be that which I am, to be this physical manifestation, this specific expression of God, of the Most High in human form, on this human experience. And I get to be supported completely 100% in that which I am, without needing to ask for permission in order to get it right, without needing to ask for permission in order to not get in trouble, in order to not mess it up, in order to not harm anyone else, in order to not harm myself, in order to whatever it is, right? I get to ask for I get to ask for support rather than asking for permission. And when we ask for support, we are in a state, our energetic state shifts into one of expansiveness. We shift into a remembrance of our infinite potentiality and infinite potentiality as us. We shift out of an idea of a personhood, as Muji Baba would say. We shift out of an idea of a personhood, and we shift into, we remember ourselves back into this cosmic return, back into ourselves as that which we are. And we are asking for support. We are asking for support from who and what, all of it, who and whatever, right? All that which is, you get to ask for, you get to be supported by life itself as the manifestation. You, as the manifestation of life itself, get to be supported by life itself, right? You no longer have to wait for something to give you permission in order to be that which you are. You get to be supported in your totality, in your wholeness, in your everything, and you get to say yes and continuously say yes, and you also do not have to do it alone, right? So you recognizing and remembering that you are simply an expression of the Most High does not then mean that you do not have support. It does not mean that you have to do this on your own. It does not mean that you have to figure it out and use your, all of this like mental capacity and mental masturbatory experiences and reinforcing and doubling down on the systemic trauma that's living in your body. No. You get to, as the remembrance of life itself, as yourself, as the remembrance of God, infinity in human form and physical form, you get to experience the full support of everything standing behind you, of everything supporting you in the remembrance and the evocation of that which you are. You are not asking for permission. You are surrendering into support. You are surrendering, spreading open your thighs, free falling, opening back into that which you know is for you, because it was never not for you. This is simply you remembering and reawakening into the cosmic return, into you as that which you are. And you no longer have to try to get there. You no longer have to figure it out, and you no longer have to pretend or act as if you've got to do this on your own. Like, okay, if I am that which I am, then I should have all the power and I should just be able to figure this out. No, that's us going back into the personhood. That's us going back into the idea that we are not that which we are, that we have to use this mental, energy, the mental energetics in order to figure things out. This is not that. This is the invitation to let go. This is the invitation to fully surrender, to be in the remembering, the ongoing remembering as the practice, remembering as liberatory praxis and practice of that which you are. This is the invitation into the embodied evocation of your everything, and that you get to be fully supported in that. And so if you are continuing to give yourself over to asking permission from a colonized ideation of a God that once was but never actually was, you get to say, like, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. You get to notice where that constriction starts to happen into your body, where you start to feel as if you are separate from that which is life, that which is life, because you are also that. You were never not that. You are simply in human form. You are simply on this temporal experience, but you are not. You in and of yourself, you as life are not temporal. You are on a temporal experience, but you are infinite, and you get to step into as and through that remembrance, and then everything you touch and everything you are gets to come from the place of that remembrance. Yes. 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 I think that's it. This was a cookie. So I'm going to invite you to drop in and really begin to explore where in your body, where in your life, where in your message, where in your business, where in your art, where in your money, where in your health, where in your body, right? Like all of the things. Where are you continuing to experience yourself as someone who asks for permission? Yes, 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 yes. Where are you continuing to experience yourself as someone who asks for permission to be yourself? And then how is that showing up, right? I'm going to invite you to journal on this, right? Drop into your body, drop into your breath. Right? And then journal. If you're in any of my programs, of course, you have a ton of journaling prompts, Eros and excavation writing prompts, and you also have a ton of practices, right, to support you in this. But if you're not in any of my programs, why are you not in any of my programs? You can what is happening? You can also just drop into body and drop into breath and allow yourself to just come into a state, an energetic state of being fully present and being in the open and expansiveness, right? Rather than trying to think your way into these invitations. Yes? Yes. So I'm going to invite you again, dropping in. Okay, so where am I, right? Where am I in that state? Like, where am I living into this idea of permission and trying to get permission and asking for permission in order to be myself? And then how is that showing up? Where is that showing up in all of the different areas that I am desiring more depth, more deliciousness, more orgasmic experiencing? Like, where is it showing up? What ways is it showing up? And then what might happen if you allowed yourself, if you chose, if you made the decision right here, right now, that you no longer ask for permission, you are now someone who simply asks for support and receives support, because you were never not supported. You are always in being supported by God, by life, by that which you are. And so you now get to remove the blinders and remove the veil and remove the layers and the miasma of systemic trauma that tells us that you've got to do this on your own. You've got to figure this out. You are on your own. Nothing and no one can come and help you, and you've got to do this. And if you get it wrong, and if we go back into, and we're staying in that colonized ideation, right, of not only of who and what God is, but who and what we are in this perceived separation from God, right? And so I invite you to really begin to explore what would become possible. What would you be saying? What would you be exploring? What would you be the yes to if you were asking for and allowing yourself to experience support rather than asking for permission? Yes? Yeah. And then let me know. You can comment after you do this practice, after you do these prompts, come back and comment on the live stream comment in the comments underneath the live stream, or of course you can always DM me over on Instagram, inside of Nikka Nation, if you are inside of Nikka Nation, all of the things. So again, if you missed yesterday's announcement, please go back and read the email if you missed it. If you do not have access to it, please let me know. I will send it over to you. You can, again, I'm over on Instagram at Nikka Karli. You can find the site, nikkakarli.com, all of the things. And yes, the new offerings are melanated kin focused. So there will still be spaces for all of my white co-conspirators of the revolution at hand for you to drop in. You can always enroll in the program series, and every time we drop a new program in those will be live, so you'll have an opportunity to work with me live inside of those. But my main mentoring, my main work is now moving into that which it was always going to move into. It is moving into focus on melanated kin, which is we're dropping into the soul refugee diaspora, the melanated diaspora of the world, and we are really dropping into what I have termed erotic abolitionism and all of the ways in our bodies on the individual level, and then taking that personal all the way out into the collective, into the transpersonal, into everything we touch and everything that we are, full on turn on, full liberation within, so that everything we then evoke, we become the energetic state, right, of liberation, and everyone and everything that comes into our field is also invited into that liberation simply by being in our energy. Yeah. So if you are melanated kin and you are desiring to work with me, we have the refugee soul ship. Fuck me, I cannot even. It's coming. We have first intake is fall boarding, and oh my, holy shit, I cannot even. I can't. Oh, I'm so fuck. I'm very excited, and I cannot wait to share this with you. And it's all gonna be the melanated kin. It's mentoring, so it's kind of like a hybrid alchemy, one-on-one plus small group, and we're going fucking deep. So my melanated peeps, stay tuned. Make sure you're on my email list so that you're inside Nikka Nation and you get first dibs. And yeah, we're gonna open up for like super early adopters soon. And and then we've got some other fabulous magical things coming your way. So come in and play. The water's fine. Come and join in. The water's fine. And I will see you all soon. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for like hanging on this, fully sort of impromptu live stream with absolutely no heads up to anyone. We're probably going to be doing them this way more and more often, because this is more fun for me. I just love just being able to just like pop in and just like, whoever's able to show up, shows up. Thank you, love. Thank you so much. And so yeah, make sure you are subscribed, have notifications turned on, all that good stuff, and then you will make sure that you get to see all of the live streams and all of the videos and all of the things. Yes, I love you. Let us always know, always let us know if you have any questions. You can always reach out to us, on Instagram, and myself, Amanda, over support@nikkakarli.com. So I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being, oh my God. Make sure you go read yesterday's blog, email, all the things. Go read. Seriously. All right, I love you. As always, here's to you on tipping. Bye, wild ones.